When we talk about home cinema at ISD, one manufacturer cannot be missing, and that is Hisense. And today I'll be discussing the highlights from Hisense with Christian Schuller, our home cinema expert. Hi, Christian.
Hello, Niklas. I'm happy to be here, and we'll be able to present some really great things from the projection and laser TV sector today.
Let's go. Here we have one right away, perhaps the highlight of the trade fair in the home cinema sector. This is the Hisense RX10. Not only does it look special, it also has a lot going for it, Christian. What makes it so special?
Yes, Niklas, this is a special projector. The design is very wild, very unconventional, just as you already noticed. So it's not your typical projector, and the specs and features are also not standard. So what really stands out, something Hisense is always working on, is expanding the flexibility of installation.
Yes.
And you can see it right here at the front already. It has a very large lens built in. This will of course provide a large zoom range, which can also be adjusted losslessly with lens shift, both horizontally and vertically. That's very important for installation. And of course, what's important for image quality and what everyone is interested in is that here we have 6,000 ANSI lumens. Once again, it's a triple laser light source. We have the BT 2020 color space. It also has a Vidaa OS system on it, of the latest generation. And accordingly, you'll also find all the apps there that you have, for example, on your TV. And this is where it gets especially interesting because this is truly a real television replacement. But at the same time, you can take it with you. It's not too heavy. That allows for much more flexibility in placement and a wider range of use cases.
You mentioned that the Vidaa operating system is on here again, but we also have a whole bunch of ports on the back. We can also connect our typical devices, PlayStation and so on.
Exactly. So for the video signal, you definitely have an HDMI interface. And not just one, but several, as we can see here at the front as well. Sound is also super interesting again. For example, we can output sound via Bluetooth, for instance, to a soundbar. But we can also connect a Dolby Atmos soundbar or Dolby Atmos system via HDMI IR. So there are basically no limits here. That's what makes a smart projector. That's where Hisense comes from, and that's what they offer as well.
Here on the front, we also have a few sensors. Christian, actually quite a lot of them. What do they do?
Well, at first glance, it looks like a retro design, but what you see here are all camera sensors. And their purpose is simply, first of all, to handle image alignment. So we have auto keystone, autofocus, and auto zoom built in, so the image adjusts itself precisely. But what's also important is that, for example, the ambient light is measured.
Okay.
Interestingly, at night, you don't need 6,000 lumens in most cases. Instead, you actually want to boost the black level, and then the image automatically adjusts itself down dynamically, depending on the light source. So on the one hand, it has the advantage of image alignment, and secondly, the image quality is actively improved.
Okay. Here in front of us is the prototype of the PX4 Pro. Christian, the PX3 Pro was a very popular projector from Hisense. Now comes the successor. What more can it do?
Well, actually, it's not the successor, Niklas. This will be an additional device. So the PX3 Pro will continue to exist just as we know it and as our customers love it. The PX4 Pro is a completely new development. You might notice, for those who are familiar, that it resembles the L9Q, the slightly larger model with 5,000 ANSI lumens. And here, the same development is inside. That's why we have the same chassis. And if you take a closer look at the details, you'll very quickly notice the differences. So compared to the PX3 Pro, we have 500 more ANSI lumens here. So we're talking about 3,500 ANSI lumens. And now what's interesting here, something you might not notice at first glance, is that this is one of the first laser TVs to use an optical dynamic aperture. That means we're not talking about the usual contrast and black levels. Instead, we're moving more in the direction of OLED. And here we're talking about double the contrast of a PX3 Pro. And that's where the immense added value lies. So we don't just have more brightness, but also better black levels as well. And otherwise, the device is, as it's called, typically equipped with a Vidaa AU system. That means we have all the streaming apps included, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and so on. And of course, we also have the display flexibility here, just as you know it from Hisense. That means the gap to a PX3 Pro has become even smaller. So the device can be placed even closer to the wall. That means the low bar doesn't need to be as deep, but you can push it closer, or put differently, we can achieve larger image widths.
Christian, you've already mentioned the similarities to its big brother, the L9 Plus, in terms of design, but also when it comes to the speakers. There are actually speakers hidden underneath here and at the front. So what can you do with that at home?
That's the huge advantage of a laser TV compared to a regular television, regardless of the brand. Here, the sound is projected directly toward the viewer. That means the front channels are for the lower level, typically referred to as 5.1. The upper ones are direct ceiling reflections and then create the Dolby Atmos effect. And of course, that's much better here than with a regular TV because you get direct sound. That makes it more immersive. You really feel like you're in the middle of the action, like you're inside the movie. And from a technical standpoint, this has also been passed down from the bigger brother to the PX4 Pro.
Yes, Christian, thank you very much for the insights into the new Hisense home cinema products. Just quickly, when can we expect these products?
Well, those are kind of rough estimates. We're here at a trade show. That means a lot of the specifications aren't finalized yet. But we expect that, first of all, and this is the most important thing for all viewers, that we can expect to see these new products here in Germany in 2026. But I assume we're really talking about summer or fall before they're actually available in stores or online shops and can be purchased.
Wonderful. Those were our impressions from the Hisense booth, excitingly compiled by our home cinema expert Christian Schuller. If you don't want to miss any more highlights, then be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.